Thing about the dry lands, it can seem simple. And in many ways, it is to first glance. You take Essentia, you put it in the machines, they grind them. Steam rises through them and they move. That is until you realize that it can do all types of magic too, and that it makes machines move fast, floaty even. Then people get newer ideas about ways they can not only make it do more things, but dig deeper, get more or different of it, find things that long ago had its power that has now been stolen from us, stolen by us, and they begin to use it once more, thinking that just because they found it and stole it, that it's theirs. But the thing is we live here in the dry lands on the corpses of what came before. And the dead belong to no one. Certainly not the things that are made from the dead. And thusly, our heroes who had seen this and now have ridden south from the hideout to just north of Have a Laugh found a thing modeled upon Jake, it seems, but powered by the stolen essentia from a murdered creature that people thought they could own itself, and this it turned, doing horrifying things to our crew. They put it out of its misery, crushed this new essentia, crushed the tiny bit of rebellious spirit that was in this murdered colossus, only to hear the howls of its kin coming for revenge. Guns and ascension in hand, prophecies untold, and the ways of nature revealing themselves. Our small, now trio for the moment, has but a few moments to decide what course they're going to pursue, and pursue hard, before choice is made for them. And so with that, standing in the kind of canyon dead end that you had been brought into, it's time to make your choices. What would you all like to do?
We should make to city. Post haste. Other me's very dangerous. Sounds like many of them.
Agreed. I feel like meeting them out in the open without preparation would be bad.
So then let's hurry.
Okay. I think Jake will. Jake can either try to find the path or help Pew, because I think Pew is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at it.
All right, so this has to be done right quick. There's not much time for you to look, but these are quick actions that we're going to make. So if we allow our mind to go, as you make a decision to go to Have a Laugh, you rile up your mounts and get them trucking. The rattlesnake from Bodes, and of course Jake and Shepherd Pew, you utilize your own bodies and power as you try to move. As you do, you can hear from your quickness that the pack seems to know, and it's going to come on your tail. And so in this case, This is going to be a little bit more just like regular Spotlight. I have a counter, and you're going to have to beat my counter. It goes down every action roll. We're going to set it at 6 for you to make your ways over. So what I actually have ultimately is a counter of 4 for you all to safely get to Havilath, and a counter of 6 that goes down where the pack is trying to catch you. So, who'd like to take the spotlight first and get something done?
I think with the coming danger over the last couple days or hours that we've been at the hideout, it's been a fog. Pew has been sort of distracted. And at this point, it's now you see his eyes sharpen again and he's present. And he'll quickly commune with nature, convince the trees and the animals to stall for time, to get in the way of the not Jakes as much as possible to give us time to get to Havilath.
All right. Sounds good. It's usually one of your abilities here.
Yes, I'll use Nature's Tongue.
All right. So I think this allows you to give a nice presence roll here.
So for Nature's Tongue, it's an instinct roll. Do you want me to use that? Or continue
Is that to activate? Yeah, that'll work out. That's fine. We can do instinct. I don't know if it was one or not.
All right, I got an 18 hope.
All right. So, describe what happens and how the animals of this place help and risk their lives for the brave shepherd.
I will. Like I said, my eyes come back into focus. I'll say, forgive me. There was a fog and I was distracted, but I'm here again. Nature, I need you. These not Jakes, they are not of us. And I will deal with them, but I need time. Buy me that time.
All right. And with that, you can hear all types of things, from the snake to the wolf. Things slightly changed, but not pure aberration or abomination. Kind of move, and you can hear the sound of twigs and rocks against metal chassis, and occasionally the crunching of an animal bone as it is torn by these metal monstrosities that are pursuing you. That is a success. Next.
I think that Jake will, as we're running from the sides, compartments open, and there's a mysterious mist. He'll spray out the mysterious mist to obscure where we are and obscure the view of us from behind.
Oh, nice. So your magic roll?
Yeah, it's a spellcast roll.
Let's go.
Okay. Oh, nice. That is a 22 with hope.
Ooh, very nice. So we can describe what this looks like.
Yeah, I think it's normally the mist comes out right from him, but because he's moving, it almost is like little like sometimes when I don't know all the technical stuff for it, but when you've got like dog fights with fighter planes and the plane will like eject something that is meant to actually distract a missile that's fired at it. So there's a term for that, and I just completely can't remember it. But it basically shoots off to the side, creates this thing of fog, and it just makes it very hard to follow where we are.
Chaff.
Yeah.
All right. And Bones.
Since we are in a forest, correct?
Yep.
Yep. Bones is going to be using her magic to weaken the branches as we go along behind us, like the bigger, heavier ones. So, like, in case any movement happens, they fall and will either block or injure some of the creatures, slowing them down. I'm using my blighted strike.
Oh, very nice. Go ahead and make that roll.
Right, that's the spellcasting. That is going to be 9, 10, 11. 11 plus 5 is 16. Let me see if I have anything. Let me make an action roll. With fear, I am going to use my Unbound from my Freeborn and change it from a fear to a hope. So that will be a 16 with hope.
Oh, very nice.
As she looks up and almost sees the branch crack over her head and fall, she ducks out of the way quickly and goes, "No!"
They get pursuing. You're able to make it so that they don't gain, but they are able to stay right behind you as you move quickly here. And finally, you can see the gates of Havilath and those around with rifles powered by Essentia kind of gives a high sign as they open up. They age just a tad as they go yell like, "Y'all gotta get here quick so we can shut this out." What's the last rush of things y'all want to do? For the last one, potentially the last one, we'll go ahead and have somebody lead and the other two help out in with reaction rolls. So who wants to lead the last leg here? Who do you think should lead?
I'll lead it.
All right. So what's the general action Shepard's going to be doing?
Shepard will shift into his humanoid form, and will declare himself as a shepherd and friends. And I will, as I'm yelling, I'm telling them, get as many people on the ramparts as possible, and just warning of the danger that's coming. That if they do show, it'll be a bigger fight than probably what they're imagining.
All right. That sounds like that's going to end up being a presence. Before that, Jake and Bones with reaction rolls. How are you helping out?
Ooh, here we go. So since we're trying to give them the people in the ramparts and them a sense of what's coming, Jake will use prestidigitation to try to light up areas behind to make it more clear what's following us.
All right. What are you using to do that?
It's just a class feature, prestidigitation. It says you can perform harmless, subtle magical effects at will.
All right. Would you spellcast roll then?
Yep. That is a 14 with hope.
All right. And Bones.
I am going to look to Rattles and be like, "Rattles, we gotta move quickly. Scoop them up in your mouth. Be careful, boys. Don't let her fangs get you.
And I'm gonna have Rattles scoop both Pew and Jake up in its mouth and make a quick move since they said we have to get there fast.
All right. Give me agility.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 with fear. Or 14 because it's no. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So Pew to this roll, it's going to be a +2.
That would be a 19 hope.
Very nice. With that, from the what seems to be somewhat temporary and hastened together defenses you move through as large blasts of Essentia are fired from the ramparts. These temporary structures, blue blasts that kind of come in, and you can see them light up the woods. You just see the shadows of the Not Jakes as they howl and find themselves dispersed rather quickly. And even as this happens, Jake, you can kind of feel the shaking in your own metal. There's almost like the sonic boom that seems to be quite effective against that, and you think it actually be effective against you as well, as you feel your things shake and move. And as you go through what seems to be the small opening that's long and looks like this place for people to shoot whoever would come through, they look at you and they start for a moment before realizing that your eyes, Jake's, burn blue and not yellow, before you can hear guns going away and you find yourself in a what seems like a makeshift tent that's connected to the entrance. As see this man maybe in his early 30s, what look like horns that are partially made of Essentia themselves. Some furnace that seems to have a deeper connection to Kudama themselves as they look upon you all. Well, I can't believe the ghost made its way here. Welcome.
Hello. Hello.
I assume you don't have anything to do with those things out there?
No. Those are not Jake.
Jake. All right. Some people thought that maybe you got angered and sent them after us.
Someone maybe found how to make Jake and has, but they are not the same.
Well, now that you're all here, you're part of our little village, whatever you might want to call it, I guess. So, welcome, and well, you can enjoy yourself. Pickens the name, and you'll see me around. And he kind of puts his hand out for you to proceed. Anything you want to talk to Pickens before you go on?
I think Jake would pardon me. I think Jake would ask, how long have the Not Jakes been out there?
Oh. Really only noticed him 3 or 4 days ago. Started causing trouble. We don't really like having that type of defenses. Sends the wrong message. Like people aren't free to come and go as they please. But when those things, it's like, well, I saw them get somebody they didn't tear them apart. They just kind of, I don't know, drank them dry. It's like there was this glow, and you could see energy, kind of like a sensor, just move from their body to the pack. All that was left was a dried sack of skin. Oh, that's one of the most horrifying things I've ever seen.
Are there any hunting parties or efforts to take them down?
The most I've been able to gather is the defense here. Everyone here, let's just say they're more about the fun than anything else. Which is good. It's what we've been named for, but not the best recipe for bravery, as you might expect. I'm kind of afraid to go hunting. These things, they seem to be able to plan and plot. Kind of afraid if we leave our post, they'll find a way to get down and take everybody out.
If we were to help you with these things, you see, we came here looking to meet a certain Baron. You think you could get us a meeting with him if we were to possibly help take these things out, maybe?
Well, we don't really keep track of anybody. The names of people who come in here go very quick from our memory, but I mean, I'd imagine if you're able to rescue us of such a thing, I'd be delusional and might name some place I imagine them to be.
Bones quickly turns to the other two.
See, it's part of the prophecy. You two are supposed to be the heroes of this town and take out these vicious creatures from hurting anybody else.
Jake's mechanical eyes dim slightly, which is the equivalent of him narrowing his eyes at Bones. Jake would like to.
You mean, look,
Jake would like to see this book that Bones' friend keeps referring to.
can you read Chicken Scratch?
I am fluent in 370 different forms of communication.
This is my own communication
Sarcasm
there.
one of them.
Jake is a machine. Jake does not understand sarcasm.
I can't hang out with Jake anymore.
Do you have a sense of how many not Jakes there are?
I get a good look, really. Unfortunately, but I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I think the most I've seen at once is maybe 5. Some people say 6. Some people said 50. Don't think it's that many. You know, these things can be.
Jake believes if there were 50, they would be in Havilath already.
Exactly. I think anywhere between 5 and a dozen is reasonable for what we've seen. But they move around, howling, and like to scare people. Or try to scare people anyway.
What do your defenses consist of?
You're looking at it, and you can see a bunch of people kind of behind what seem to be reinforced tents.
Oh. Where's your giant railguns? You haven't made it to that chapter yet? Oh.
This is have a laugh, not a have a gun. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you actually take those town names serious around here. You should
Kinda
have a
laugh.
drink with your.
He finally says, "Come here," and kind of opens the door here, and you're led into like the whole area, and you see an entirely like tent-like village, and people laughing and drinking, get into all types of mischief, hiring different men and women to do various things back in their tents. A really large one where people are performing and festivities are going on. It's like a thing of joy. So yeah, no, we really don't have defenses.
That's why you're not mentioned much in prophecy. But today happens to be a day because you have the heroes.
Have we met the heroes now? Well,
Jake would like to meet these heroes that Bones' friend keeps talking about.
Indeed. Or at least learn how they actually handle these things.
One by itself was formidable. If they are in a pack and communicate, frontal assault is a bad idea.
And we isolate them. One by one.
Or if we can figure out weakness.
They're hive mind. Right?
It appears so. Though
So-
uncertain if these feral ones outside of the syndicate are still connected to the ones acting in the syndicate, or if they have been cut off.
But if they've been cut off, they could still be connected to each other.
Correct.
Maybe we figure a way out with that. And then that would also help us to deal with the bigger issue of all the other ones.
Jake will turn back to Pickens. Pickens, okay. To Pickens and go, what was that sonic weapon?
Oh, yeah. Well, we got that off Miss Madeline. She used to use it for her singing. Every night, put on a little bit of show, projected her voice all the way through, and well, we paid her enough money that would take care of her for quite a few shows, and we're able to replicate it a little bit. Make it so when it lands, it just puts out the same sound of its crashing, and it seems to mess them up. They don't like those loud sound too much. It pumps it up to something that I think would make your ears bleed if you were too close. It's just enough to confuse them, get them a little distracted.
Could Jake take a look at it? Maybe see if we could make some altercations to it to make it stronger?
I mean, I suppose we don't have a lot left. We got about one left at this point. I'm gonna try to
Well,
make
these
them-
are the heroes.
kind of laugh. All right. Well, if you're the heroes, I guess we'll let you look at what you need to look at.
Okay, get off me. Get off. Mercedes, get up. Off. Get off, baby girl.
Q friend,
Get
does it normally work
off.
to obtain goods by simply stating that you are heroes?
Off.
Are you asking that to me?
He asked Shepard.
In my experience, you have to play the part of the hero first. And even that doesn't work sometimes.
Mercedes, please don't kill me.
So Jake will take a look at. So this is something that they drop and it makes a noise.
Yeah, they kind of throw it or launch it.
Gotcha. Okay. Mundane item.
But it's Essentia powered.
Okay.
Pickens, what's the process to make these? Could we get more if needed?
Making them takes a little bit. If we have time before the next attack, might be able to get something going. I think if you're asking me if we can get another one, maybe might be able to get one more. People don't come here to work, like I said, but we have enough material at least. Kind of scraping it together would. It's basically the sensors around this horned abomination that fires blasts out of its head there. That's what Madeline was able to use. She found one dead, she said, and made her contraption. She had some pieces left over, and that's what we've been using.
Do you have any other devices that can make a prolonged long sound?
I know people do, not that I know about. We might be able to find something.
Thinking if we can get them to separate because of large sounds, it might give us a window to take them out one at a time.
I see what you're saying. Get them scattered, then go round up.
Come on.
I mean, we have to find something that would, I guess, make the Essentia slightly weaker, maybe, but burn longer. I suppose we can probably get work on the idea of the thing. But you'd have to. We would need you all if we're doing this any amount of time, especially since by doing it we're going to be taking away our one working one. We need to find the other piece.
Said this was the remnants of another aberration. Was there only just one of them, or have you seen more of these?
Well, it was Madeline who saw it, but I've not heard of any more. I'd only seen the one, but I mean, whether that's the one that was felled that she got, I don't know.
Seems we're due for a conversation with Miss Madeline.
All right. Well, what I would say is go out and enjoy yourselves a little bit. I mean it. You act a little bit too serious, you're going to scare everybody off. As dire as things may be, a lot of people, by the time they get here, they would rather go out with a smile on their face. So get them serious. Might take a little bit of persuading. So from here, what would you all like to do? Because as you look out, you can see these grand tents everywhere, and like I said, kind of parties and shows, fire blowers and magicians and people doing acrobatics, almost like kind of live outdoor burlesque in other areas. Just this kind of insane 24/7 celebration that seems to be going down here in Have a Laugh.
I think Pew would actually be bothered by this. There's immediate danger outside, and yet everyone is in here ignoring it to have a sense of enjoyment, which I understand and don't begrudge them, but I wouldn't feel able to partake myself.
Mhm. Must blend in to an extent. Noise amplification. I think Jake would try to see, would go kind of searching for whatever activity seems to be generating the most noise. He's looking to see if he's caught on the idea of amplification, and if there's a way to amplify effects or spread the effects of sort of sonic stuff. So he's anything that might be doing that, he'll just sort of wander towards curiously.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think I'm going to give that to you, Phil.
No.
It's got to be some sort of competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the party. You guys can work together on it too.
Yeah.
If you'd like help, it's up to you.
Mhm.
Well, some sort of
Go on.
competition of balance. People standing on barrels or on bottles, something.
Okay, for I guess I was thinking of something that was amplifying sound or allowing sound to be spread.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm just
So-
blanking. I'm just blanking on what in a celebration is that, like, short of amplifiers for like a rock show, which
Yeah,
seems
I mean, so you could go like in the instrumental route.
yeah, that's what I
All
keep coming
things
back
go
to.
through there. Or people kind of doing like spoons on like big barrels.
Mm.
Still music, but people doing something where they're wearing like shorter shorts so they can clap on their thighs, so it kind of amplifies that.
Oh, now I'm thinking something like like a percussion performance.
Okay.
Or they're utilizing some structure to create echoes,
Mm-hmm.
which they can project. So maybe this is going to be weird, but I'm thinking now what Brad said about balancing, that it's a competition for balancing on things, and you're getting constantly distracted by like people banging garbage can lids or something. Like
Okay,
I
so
don't
like
know. I need some help
like
with this.
big barrels or whatever.
Yeah. Pardon me.
Yeah, I kind of like that. So, can do something. It's a tradition that rose as, I mean, it's a party town, so I imagine there's a great deal of trash. And so it just came about. People would heckle the
Mm.
garbage people that would come through and clean up stuff by throwing stuff at them, and it eventually became a game. And now that's the local tradition is you're throwing objects at trash cans or barrels that they use to collect everything. It's just creating this large raucous sound.
Okay. So I think Jake comes up to this because if it's something like that, then there's a lot of people making noise from different directions. You've got the sound bouncing off of a lot of surfaces. And I think Jake wants to sit there and kind of observe this, wondering if the emanation from this sort of eccentric device could be bounced around an area.
Okay. So this is like seems to people using like trash and throwing in at barrels and things. So you're trying to see if you can get into a smaller area.
I think he's mostly just seeing if he can get a sense of how the sound is bouncing, but maybe this is more of a distraction thing. If a lot of people are doing this is sort of like they don't know how to use guns, but they know how to create a ruckus.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, I think as you watch it, you see some people basically making the equivalent of a massive gramophone phone, basically.
Yeah.
And they've pieced together like just whatever anybody has, and they realize they can make it taut and between scrap and bits of trash and cloth, as long as it's on there, smacking this thing, and people having the fun thrown it against, and creates kind of the like piece of trash against it, and the vibrations are creating just a racket. And I like the idea before the competition of who can make the thing that makes it amplify the loudest.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what you find. What do you want to do?
So I think Jake watches this until he's going to see who wins. Who's made the most ruckus. And approach them.
Nice. You come up on two young boys look like they're 16, and they've actually come up with something that as they throw it, it's like tied almost like a yo-yo of like sharper metal, or like a stella metal, as it like spins upon this horn that then kind of goes on, because it's more of an elongated sound. And they talk to you as they found that if they can keep contact with it longer, as opposed to just one big burst, that the sound builds up.
Hmm.
And they get a louder ruckus from it.
This is brilliant. Did you make this yourselves?
I go, yeah. Well, we decided, they've been doing this on noise, so no one can hear what they're saying or what some of them are doing in those tents, and they started to offer prizes, and everybody doesn't like to give us work around here except cleaning up their puke. So we figured out to do this, and we've been pretty good. This is the 5th day we've won in a row. That's right. We're going to get cigars today.
Is your device mobile?
Oh, yeah. I gotta look at it. It's like, you gotta heft it up. You gotta, not too bad. It has to be light anyway. And they look at it and go, we've got about a 30-foot range on it. Like to move us back and forth. And they keep trying to raise it. I think they're going to try to make us go from a little more far away next time. But we've been working on a way to make it reach. A lot of prize money goes to just make sure that it can still function no matter what limitations they keep trying to put on all of us.
Could you make one? How much noise would you lose if you made it smaller?
Well, it would depend. If we can make it quicker at the same time. I guess what are y'all trying to do? It all depends on how long you want it to go.
I think Jake kind of looks at Shepard, thinking about what Pickens said about how serious to be. Like,
We could power it with Essentia. Do you think you could make it last for 10 minutes?
Whew. All right. Big spenders. Could definitely do that. I guess the big thing would be, you start thinking about it, they're like, all right. Yeah. Could make it. We just have to redesign it so it's more like it stays in one place more than it gets pulled back. Pulling it back would be a little harder. Just, yeah. There you go. You'd I mean, the rules of this contest are you're not allowed to go back and pick up anything you threw. Sorry, we made this so you could pull and retract it quite easily. This is what you're talking about with Ascension, making it stay there that long. It wouldn't really pull back the way that we usually have it, but something tells me you think you're trying to win this contest. Can't use Ascension anyway.
no. There are pauses and things. Things like me that do not like fun. I wish to bring fun to them
All right.
by force if necessary.
I've heard tales of the Ghost's Revenge. Figured if you made it through and everybody was screaming, that had to be hogwash when we saw you. All right, we might be able to figure out something. We would need some Essentia, though. Like a good hunk. At least 1 to 2 pounds whole.
Do we have an idea of how much that would be in terms of like a bag, a handful?
Probably the equivalent of about 3 handfuls.
Are we talking, because the handfuls are of gold.
Essentially, gold in this campaign.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
basically the same.
so, okay. I did not. Okay.
Yeah, good, because Essentia It's what people mine, but it's also what everybody has.
Okay.
It's used
I
as
hope to mine that.
yeah. So because you're getting a chest of Essentia, a bag of Essentia, so
Okay. Well, Jake has
it double its use.
Jake has 3 handfuls. So when they say that, Jake, a little compartment will open on his chest, and his mage hand will float 3 handfuls of Essentia out.
Definitely get what we need with this. I imagine someone could part with the whole crystal. All right, probably take us a little bit of time, but we can try to work on it best we can.
Faster would be good, but understand when modifying new devices, time is involved.
Right. This is something that during any downtime of a short rest you would take. Actually, here with these ones, you can use some short rest actions to help get this done. As one of the things to chase down.
Oh,
What's up to you? Anything else you want to do?
Thinking if sound is affecting them, light might also be a thing. So I want to look for something that causes a lot of flashing lights. See if we can startle them and just cause mass confusion.
All right, so journeying through Havilath, trying to find some type of entertainment that could be repurposed for this. What do you all think you might find?
This one, I'm thinking it's some sort of performance or live show, and a very over eager pyrotechnician.
All right, as you come into this, I would say, Josh, what do you think the show is? Can you give us a little bit of description?
Pyrotechnician. Okay. Yeah. It's a rowdy town. There's a reason they don't fight here. It's because they hold wrestling matches that are professional wrestling matches. And that's why they use pyrotechnician.
They have a ring where there's a center on the poles, and they go boom in the air, making many sparks and lights, and people are screaming. As different bits of energy are causing flow around everyone as they pick somebody up and throw them to the ground, and there's a big explosion of light. Where you can see the shadows of them beating each other into submission. And at the controls, see what it looks like a young Galapida with several essential crystals that he's kind of tapping and moving around, blowing on, spinning. They seem to be operating and generating various colors through this apparatus that they have to the air and all around the stage.
And to kind of add to that, I think he's just so crazy with it that it has stolen the show to where people are now cheering the constant having to put out fires and just the smoke that has just choked out a lot of the wrestlers. And it's just cheering every time a new spark or a new explosion happens.
Very nice. And they Yeah, people are cheering them, and they're like, "This is great." So they all coming up. You can get close as the show kind of ends, and they wipe the sweat off their brow, and whew. And while everyone's sharing the fireworks, they kind of give all the credit to the wrestlers. No one's coming over to this young man who just looks at all the various folks fawning over the wrestlers and their muscles, and you can hear him going, "I'm the one that makes everybody cheer," and they get all the credit. It's like they actually think when they point, things go off. Can't they see me over here? Oh my gosh. You don't pay me enough. What do you like to do?
Kind of approach the Galapagos from behind. I'll clap him on his back. And I'll say, I appreciated the show. You handle all these pyrotechnics by yourself?
Turn around. Whoa. Yeah, it's funny. You can kind of see it. A closer look. A lot of the Essentia here seems almost to be like tied together with certain types of rope and what looks like kind of crafted rope, maybe made from like animal fat and parts, hamstrings and muscle tissue, dried, and like pieces of leather. You go, abominations. They can, come in handy. People a lot of times get rid of like the small bits, but put them together the right way. Well, you see, you can have some fun stuff. I don't know if it's useful for anything, but it's pretty enough.
Pretty has its own uses. Is it tied just to this ring, or could you take it elsewhere?
No, I tear it down at night. Let somebody take it. I guess I could hook it up somewhere. You were looking for a private show, trying to impress a young Amore.
Private show, yes. I think I'm beyond the age of impressing anyone young.
In Havilah, there's always somebody.
Is there any chance you could take it just a little outside of Havilah?
We've been forbidden to go out there. Some dangerous things. They say they inhale your insides and use it to make strange tents or something. Turn you into leather, huh?
Perhaps simply on the parapet.
Jumps for a second, realizing you're there, and goes like, "Ah, that one okay?"
Hello, I am Jake. The ones outside are not Jake.
Fair enough. I mean, I guess I can make a parapet go. Yeah, man.
What sort of safety features do you use with your display? And can you remove them?
Yeah, I got something that just keep the light from getting too intense if they jump off of it. But I mean, yeah, I did it at first without him. Got a few people burned. One guy lost a leg, but he was an asshole anyway. Yeah, I guess I could take it off. You trying to? I mean, you're trying to hurt somebody?
The not me's.
Right, you're trying to take them out. I mean, I'm not going to be in danger, am I?
Ideally not. Can you activate this from afar?
Longest been able to get has been about 20 feet.
If he stays inside city, and somebody signals to him from parapet, he would not have to be in as much danger.
So they kind of nod. Seems like you got this young man kind of on it. They slowly nod. Anything else? If Bones is looking for anything or has an idea, Josh?
Bones has found herself snagging a bottle of this triple skull whiskey, and she has now gotten into the biggest crowd of people and started a line dancing while telling everybody about the heroes of the prophecy. This man they called Shepherd, who travels with his mechanical dog Jake, and the other who's not here at the moment but is coming.
The Ballad of Shepherd and Jake.
But I am trying to win over the town, is what she's trying to do.
Definitely. Go ahead and give me a presence, please.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh, that is a 21 with hope.
All right. And before you know it, between the line dancing, you hear the songs of the mighty heroes, Fowler, Shepherd, and Jake. And some people kind of go in the bed. And then there's Old Bones. Old Bones, that's right.
Hopefully it does get back to those two while they're busy doing whatever they're doing. The tales
Hearing
of
it.
them.
It does.
Later on, Jake will tell Bones, "It is important, friend Bones, that you also take a certain amount of the blame, I mean credit, for whatever it is we do here."
Yeah, you're not escaping this one.
No, they see the prophecy only counts 3. And maybe a 4th. We'll see. That one's still mysterious. I'm not that 4th. I am the keeper of the prophecy and the documenter, and I will assist you like a fairy godmother assists anybody.
So we will take the credit and Bones will take the blame. Understood.
Perfect.
The prophecy will take the blame if you all fail, because that's what the prophecy said would happen. If you all succeed, yes, the prophecy said that too. I forgot to mention it's ever-changing prophecy. Chugs way more bottle.
Amazing.
All right. Well, should we rest and prepare? So we think we have a good idea of what we're going to use. Now we just need to figure out how to use it.
Agreed.
So what I'm thinking is we would find some kind of way to lure the pack in. Once the pack gets to target area, set off the sound, and hopefully that'll get them to start running away, and then use the lights to split them up and veer one off to wherever direction we want one to go. And then take that one out. hopefully repeat, or if we can keep several of them caged off in different areas, we can move to one to the next.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure how many times we can do it though, so I'm trying.
I think I remember, Jake. You could put things to sleep, correct?
Yes, I can put things, but only one at a time.
But in the me and Shepard, I believe we have a little bit of control over plants and it can entangle things.
I can't entangle anything, but I may be able to ask nature around us to help with that.
I can entangle things, so that might help with one or two if Jake puts one to sleep. So, and if you can ask nature to provide some thicker binds, that could definitely help. But I think first things first, you both have to make these things that you were discussing about.
Yeah, lend some support to the people making them. Any thought as to where we should do this?
What do you think, Jake?
Well, we don't want. Would be better if did not place celebrating and inebriated towns members near danger. But we need young one to control light show.
Agreed. I'd like to keep as many out of danger as possible. But it would also be nice to have support from above if we can get them close to the ramparts. We want to lure them in. Galapagos said they can go out to about 20, 25 feet. So pull them right up to the wall, set it off, try and split them up. And then through various means, try to disable a few of them and then take out one at a time.
Seems like best course of action.
Hopefully, through the various noises and lights, that'll be enough to confuse them to where they're not as effective as they were when we first engaged it.
Jake can be bait.
If Jake wants to be bait, then here, and I'm going to put that collar on you that I once put on you a long time ago when I first ran into you guys again. And I'm going to give you the tethered talisman, where you can take, when the person holding the talisman takes damage, you can expend its magic to reduce the number of hit points they mark by 1.
Okay. Hopefully they will not get close enough for that.
Hopefully not, but if you're bait, we just need you to make sure you don't get too hurt.
I won't let you be alone. I'll shape into a mouse or something and bum a ride off of you.
May
I will
need
be
a
off
ru-
in the distance.
may need a ruling from deific authority figure
All
whether
right. What are we thinking?
Arcane Door will allow that. Arcane Door says that it closes once a creature passes through it. I don't know if Pew can ride on me as a mouse and we both go through it.
Gotcha. I didn't know
Yeah.
you were planning on doing that. Okay, that works.
I'd allow those shenanigans with the stress.
So Jake doesn't have a stress to give. He's got 5 out of 6 filled already. So
Do we want to take a short rest while we're in this town before we deal with these creatures?
I think we have to do that anyways because devices are being built.
Yes.
Yep. All right, so the plan that we have is Jake will be bait to lure the not Jakes close to the wall. We want them within 20, 25 feet. Once they get up there, we'll set off the sound machine and hopefully that'll scatter them or at least get them to start fleeing. And we'll use the lights to send them in the directions that we want. And the idea is to kind of split the group up. Once they're split up to a formation or to a space that we want, we'll try to put one to sleep. Bones will try to entangle another one, and I'll try and get Nature to stall another. And then hopefully through the noise and the lights, it'll be enough to confuse them to make them a little weaker or a little less effective than they were the first time we met them, and start taking them out one by one.
All right. That definitely sounds pretty good.
No, that's exactly what the prophecy says, and it says at the end that you two become heroes of this town. Yep.
All right. So in that case, the real thing of here is the timing. So it's kind of how much fear I can get up here to mess with y'all versus your actions. So if you want to take a short rest, you are allowed to essentially use your short rests for this purpose and have a laugh to help these various projects. So my understanding is you have the project going for the noise amplification folks, and then to help Mr. Pyrotechnic out getting all that set up in time when these things might try a bigger assault.
So is the idea that we take the short rest, do that, but we don't get the normal downtime activities?
You get them.
Oh, okay.
It just depends on. There's a chance that if there's a chance that not enough progress get made on the goals. That you'd have to take another short rest and maybe come into more complications.
Okay.
So it just depends how many you get to decide how many moves you're gonna make for yourselves, how many moves you're gonna use to help further what's happening. You describe that and would do appropriate dice.
I can spare one easily enough.
I can also spare one.
Jake, if you're high on stress, I'm not opposed to you spending both of yours to try to get your stress down, if need be.
Well, so I have because I'm a clank, I can do at least one of my short rest things can actually be a long rest thing. So I could just use one of my 2 down times to clear all my stress. And then I could still use to have the other one go towards helping with something.
Okay, so I mean that's 3 rolls on progress that we can use. So I think it's pretty good.
All right. Sounds like a plan. So we're going to get 6 fear on this short rest. All right. So I would say the first things first is why does everyone describe their what they're doing to take care of themselves with their first action.
I'm getting whiskey drunk. That's helping heal myself up because I'm not gonna feel anything after this. And you see her literally down a good 3/4 of that bottle, and it's a big old like moonshine bottle you see back in the old days. I swear we gonna do this. It's fine.
Healing by numbing your stuff.
Yeah, I would just go find a hot meal, enjoy that, and take the time to rub some salves and whatnot over my wounds and heal myself.
All right.
Jake will, to clear all that stress, he attempts to find like a tent to go into just away from the noise, and he keeps going into tents. And as he tells Shepard later, he keeps finding humans doing one-on-one wrestling matches, and they're making a lot of noise. So he keeps having to try other tents until he finally, I don't know what he eventually finds, that it's somewhat quiet. And just finds a corner to sit and try to reassess, sort of refocus himself, because a lot of that stress came when, and Brad wasn't here for this, Jake was momentarily infected by the yellow essentia. And it really messed with him to the extent that he heard a voice in his head that was like trying to analyze him. So he tries to he spends the time reasserting his own personality.
I like it. Kind of just getting in stuff with themselves.
Mm.
All right, then what are y'all doing to help with these folks doing the projects?
I think Jake would help with the sound machine because all of his knowledge about Essentia, he's basically going to help the boys with like the most how to actually alter their device to get the most out of the Essentia.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a knowledge roll.
Okay. Nice. That is a 25 with hope.
Oh, nice. All right. So advising them, they're able to make progress a lot quicker than they normally would. Given the schematics and understanding a little bit of what you can do as well. Everybody else?
I will help out with the lights, and I would share my knowledge of how I use my firefly technique, how it's more herbs and plants and stuff that I use to create the lights and heat effect. And so I'll share that and try and use that with whatever technology he uses with Ascension.
Very cool. So it sounds like you make an instinct roll from that.
All right. "21 fear."
Okay. So I think the kind of use of your kind of more home-based nature knowledge is not quite the most conducive to what they're doing, but still it's something. And what about Bones?
So, which one looks like it needs more help?
Wrong with the lights.
Yeah, the lights would be more.
Okay, so light. Bones is going to be looking at these lights, really drunk in this pyro, going, how can we get the thing to go bigger and louder and boomier? We add more. Where's your dynamite and nitroglycerin?
Jeez.
And she's going to try to see if we could increase the potency.
By mixing this with actual dynamite, sounds like a knowledge roll to me.
Yep. See, this is part of the prophecy, so it's gonna work.
Where's where's Farlow when you need her
I know.
with her dynamite?
That is going to be a 22 with hope.
None of us learned not to give Josh's characters dynamite.
Definitely in the westerns. Like, come on.
Very nice. In that case, you, by the end of this, it seems both of these folks, the young brothers and our Galapata pyrotechnician, with your help, have levied small explosives, some large explosives, as well as their sound machine, along with like kind of the horn itself, like this mini thing that will push around on it. The things are made. With that, them looking good. They've tested them a few times, and Pickens is a little worried. He goes, "I hope this works. You're gonna have to get them those not used, I guess you keep calling them, pretty close. You think they're gonna try to attack the town?"
Hoping to get them to try to attack me.
All right.
Yeah, we can't promise anything, but we'll be out there amongst them. Things turn bad, I'll run them away from the town.
The prophecy will ring true. On tomorrow's eve, the heroes will return. Successful. Hiccup. Hiccup.
All right. They go, all right, all right. So in this case, how do you want to lure them?
I think Jake will go outside the village. And I think use prestidigitation to just sort of highlight himself.
Okay, so you're trying to hide out there?
No, not to hide, to highlight.
Highlight.
Right. To let them know he's there. And he's staying within. So the arcane door, I can travel to a place within far range. And I just need to do it before they get within melee.
Okay. What's the plan? Is to use Arcane Door to do what again?
Just to get, once they're converging on me, it's to get me out of danger.
Gotcha.
Get back to where the others are, and then they can trigger the sound and the lights. Because I don't want to be out there.
I gotcha. So the idea is like you get them out there, you teleport closer to the sound of the lights, and that's when they chase you and then everything gets activated.
Yes. Well, I think the idea is that when they get near me, they're already within range. I'm getting out so that I don't get hit by the lights and the sound.
You got it. And then where's Shepard and Bones?
So okay, for my map wise in my head, is this town like surrounded by the forest?
Yeah. Well, not surrounded, but the northern end goes right into forest.
Okay, so that's where we would be coming from. Okay, so then, and we don't want to do it close to the town, so, but we have to be somewhat close to the town because for the sound machine to work, correct?
Yeah, and the lights. The lights only are set up, I think, 20 feet outside the gate.
Oh, okay, it's the lights. Okay. So, I guess, and we're gonna try to get them to the spot of the lights and the sound, correct, guys?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I would like to be within 30 feet of that area. Yeah.
I will be on the outside, but leaning against the wall where we want them all to be at.
Okay. I like it. All right, so we're going to start here. So I'm going to be calling for these rolls to kind of determine how all this is happening, and how your skills go. Because of your, you're going to make the moves to make what you want to happen. What the function of these devices is, one, it's going to give you the ability to do the things you want to do. I want to say that they're theoretically possible with these machines around, but they also are going to give you ultimately 6 tokens to beef up your rolls. But once you use them, they're gone, and you can split them up amongst any rolls you want. You just do have to use them before you roll. You should be just give 6 plus 1s.
Heard.
So the first thing here is to get them to convene on Jake in a way that works. Now, did your arcane gate automatically happen or not, actually?
The arcane door, I do have to do a spellcast roll 13 or better.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do a spellcast roll first for getting them here with prestidigitation. Kind of overwhelming their senses, outsmarting them so that they group up like you want them to.
Okay. That is a 12.
All right. In that case, I'm gonna say, 3 come upon you, Jake.
Mhm.
In this moment, they burst and they kind of rocket through with yellow essential power. 2 now going immediately upon Shepherd Pugh, and 1 is going on Bones. As this rocket, they go kind of faster than they should onto these different targets. What's the next thing we want to happen?
I will shift into my wolf form, or I'll use Conjure Swarm first, and then shift into my wolf form to engage in battle. Looks like.
Okay, so you're gonna go after these 2 immediately.
I'm gonna try to elude them at least until we can get the rest of them in the area.
Okay, but you're
Yeah.
just kind of getting ready.
So, just trying to like stay just out of reach, and corral them.
Okay, so it's gonna be your intention. Sounds good. And then what's Bones doing?
We're trying to get them all together, but take out one of them. So if I see I have the 1. So I look to Jake and Shepard and go, use your things. I'll keep this one over here for now. And I am going to first hex the creature. No, I can't do that until it hurts us. I guess I would like to antagonize the creature to come after me and not focus on my friends when they do their whole thing with the machines.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a presence.
Okay. I am going to enact my wings and start flying up a little bit to like keep like right at like, you know, a dog's height where it has to yip up to like get at my feet. So like I'm right there. Yep.
You got it.
That is going to be 11 with hope.
Okay. So that is a failure there. And then I would say Shepard, actually, I guess give me an agility to try to like stay out of. Yeah.
I could, which is hope. When you or an ally within far range rolls a failure on an action roll, you can spend 3 hope to change it into a success with fear. So, I do have those hope. I'm going to change that into success, but you get fear, Matt.
All right.
I want this to work. No. Look at me.
Then Shepard, give me an agility.
All right. You mind if I spend the hope to use my experience closer to the grave? As I'm trying to elude harm.
I like that.
I got a 15 fear.
All right. In that case, you are able to get essentially far away of them, just out of like kind of their move and burst, unless they really try to do something cool. And then, Jake, you're trying to teleport?
Yep. So let's see. Here's my make sure check on this. Yep. Okay. Cool. That is 18 plus 2 is 21 with hope.
All right. So where do you want to end up teleporting?
The idea was to, because we think the lights and the sound are going to affect these things, and Jake is like these things. He doesn't want to be in the line of fire of the sound or the light. So I had originally thought like literally up on the wall, but I don't necessarily want to be that far from everybody else. So potentially,
I'm right up against the wall. So
yeah,
do that.
probably.
You're just above me.
Yeah, probably somewhere near where Shepard is.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So we ordered with fear. So as we come back for next week, we will have some of these actually take their turns right at the top. And with that, and we will get ready for this scenario. I don't think you use any of your tokens, so you still have your +6 ready to use with any shenanigans that you are trying to make happen.
Us with shenanigans?
So with that, for the stream, we'll end for tonight and see what we get to next week.